I'm going live. Alright, now where's the chat? Oh, there we go. That's interesting. Hi, how's it going, Fatima? How's it going? Just testing a few things right now. Just trying to get this live stream going. But yeah, if you guys got any questions, let's see. Now, how can I get that chat showing up? That chat, okay. Oh, testing. Alright. Oh, there we are. I can find my stream there. Just got to go through the studio. Let's turn off the sound there. Alright, oh, there's the chat. Oh, there's a bunch of people here already. Let's see if I can put that up. Because I was playing around with it a little bit earlier, and it wouldn't show up on the save file. But this should work now. So let's see if I could just click on that and put that chat up. See how that looks. Okay, that's good. Alright, now let's make that smaller. Alright, fantastic. Now if I need to go back and go check on the video, it's going to have the chat showing, so that's fantastic. Excellent. Alright, g'day guys. How's it going? How's it going on this Sunday night? I was going to call it like a Sunday night chill stream, but I wasn't sure how this was going to work. So I called it a test stream. But don't worry guys, I'm here. I'm here for the next bit, so we can talk, we can chop it up, we can dice it up, whatever we want to talk about. How's it going? Kaja, Daniel Boy. How's it going? Ahmed. Coolest Moth 45. Alright, I'm gonna give a shout out to Coolest Moth 45. Because I said in one of the videos before, he put a comment and I said I'll shout him out at the next live stream. So here's your shout out, mate. Go check out his channel. I think he does a little bit of fishing, or he wants to at least get into some fishing videos if you guys are interested. What's up, Wilson? Destroyer Boy, Christopher. How could I forget? Hope you've been well, mate. Ibrahim, Oscar. Looks like a bunch of people here. Infamous FPV. How's it going, bro? Daniel Boy. Alright, here we go. Richard, Josh. Let's go through the list. Trung. Oscar Well says, what you doing? I'm just trying to get through the week, you know? Just trying to get through this week without any fishing. Trying to watch videos. Trying to think about what I'm going to do when I can get back out there. Now, the rules do allow people to get out there and fish right now, but so far I've been very cautious. I actually haven't fished for probably nearly 5 to 6 weeks now, and I've been largely self-isolating for about 5 weeks. That's about to change. I'm gonna have to head out and stock up on some food, but yeah, otherwise it's been pretty good here. Siona, how's it going? Who else have I missed out? If anyone that I'm missing out, g'day to all of you guys. Josh, yeah, James Klein, welcome, James. How's it going? Hope you've been getting some good fishing in during these times. Weather's starting to cool down, but that doesn't mean that the fishing's going to slow down. It's going to be pretty good. Jackie, yeah, g'day, mate. Where are you? I'm actually at home right now. This is a green screen behind me. But if you guys are interested to know what this screen behind me, what this picture actually is, that's a picture from my trip to Weipa several years ago, and this is on the top deck of the houseboat. And this is pretty much where we were planning, discussing on what we're going to do just before every morning, what we're going to try to target and try to get those fish out of a system that we don't know about. All right, okay, so let's keep going down the comments. G'day, Mitty. Zach Roku says, Shroom, mate, I've been trying to catch a Jewfish for 10 years. Help a brother out. All right, so Jewfish, huh? Okay, yeah, that's something we could definitely talk about. We can chop that up. Let's see. Let's go through the rest of the messages first, though. James Klein says, just put up a vid Shroom. I actually got a Mac tuna in Lavender Bay near Milson's Point. Yes, so I've been hearing that there's been quite a few Mac tuna and all sorts just near the Harbour Bridge right now. It'd be a good time to go there early morning and smash some of those fish. Any fish lately? No, I haven't actually been fishing lately. been trying to think of ways to make more content, but not, make videos just for the sake of making videos. Make something exciting, interesting. People want to, engage or talk about, something to watch, something to learn. Try to be entertaining at the end of the day. So that's what my channel's about. All right, now how do I put this comment off now? All right, there we go. All right, so someone said, how do I? Okay, let's go find that comment. So someone asked me about Jewfish. Now, first of all, no expert, but I've got my fair share of Jewfish. So I'll firstly explain what what I do, and what basically my Jewfishing experience is all about. Now, where's that comment? All right, so I'll put it up there. Okay, so at least we've got a topic to talk about here. So when it comes to Jewfish, I have experience with plastics, soft plastic lures, and not as much with bait. Now, I've seen it done with bait plenty of times, but it's just not been something that I've really put a lot of time in. But I have put a lot of time into chasing Jewfish on plastics. I can tell you that I've gone through the whole gamut of learning about what is required to catch these fish. These days, there's a lot of information on the internet, but about 10, 15 years ago, there wasn't much information on catching Jewfish at all. So I can definitely tell you that I used to just scour the internet with a few friends, trying to look up anything, reports of what people are using. Now, I'm not going as far back as when people were using like feather lures and all that stuff. I'm just talking about soft plastics. That's like when there were videos on how to catch Jewfish on plastics on the Cooks River using squidgy fish and all that. That's as far back as I'm talking about. Now, I can tell you that out of all the fish that I've caught, I've tallied like the conditions and the moon phase and all that. I've got like a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet that spans many years. And I can tell you that it depends on the spot that you're fishing. So first of all, we're talking about conditions. So it depends on the spot, what tide is most effective. Believe it or not, my favorite tide is the low tide, but that's because of the areas that I fish. You'll notice in a lot of my videos when I chase bream, for example, I chase them in weird areas that a lot of people don't even give a second thought to. But, a different spot might have the high tide being the best time. My best session, I've caught four Jews on plastics land-based within about an hour, and that was actually mid-tide. So I guess it doesn't really, you can't really say exactly what the best conditions are. Sometimes you just got to take it when they come. But first of all, tide change, hit the tide change. It's very sharp on the tide change. If they're there and on the bite, you might get a bite within 5 minutes of the reported tide change. If you look up, say, what is it, Willy Weather, or the tide website, just look it up. Generally, it's smack bang right on the tide change. You get that one hit, and then you strike, and you'll be on straight away, and you'll know straight away if you've been chasing a lot of fish that that's no flathead, that's no bream, that's got to be a Jew, and that's normally how it works. Now, in terms of like lures, use soft plastics that have paddle tails. I've caught most of them on paddle tail lures because of the fact that they have I like the way that they drop down through the water. They're kind of like a safe, like a safe shape. They have action. They've got some vibration. You don't have to do much more than a double hop on the lure. So with like a flick bait lure, you might be doing, many little jerks and hops. I've done that a lot using. So there's a discontinued lure that I used to use, and that's like the power bait jerk shad in 5" in I think pearl watermelon. Stinks like crazy, but the Jews love them, and you can't get them anymore. So I've still saved up enough packs to last me for a couple of years. Because when I found them, I just like literally bought the whole stock on eBay. Like I think I bought like 15 to 25 packs or something like that. Just going mad. So that's some of the quirks of being a Jew fisherman as well. If it starts working on a particular lure, you're just gonna like completely stock up, because once you start seeing success, you want to just replicate it. So yeah, paddle tail lure, I'd say about 80 to 100 mil. That's the best. Put like a 3/8 ounce jig head with a 3/0 hook. And yeah, so 14 pound leader, maybe 10-pound braid, and a 3 to 6 kilogram rod, 2,500 reel. So I can keep going. So there's just a lot of little things. So, but that's what I do. That's what I found works best for me. So yeah, in terms of spots, well, no one's really going to say specific spots, but you know, all the normal spots where you can access deep water. But if you don't know what you're doing, this is the best advice I can give you when it comes to finding a spot. Go to a spot that you've heard that people have caught them before, or if you want to look for your own spot, fish as narrow a channel as you can. The Jewfish will swim through that area at some stage of the tide, generally on the tide change when they're moving up or down the river. So if you're going to be casting across the bank and the bank is only say 20 meters wide, you're casting pretty much 90%, 100% of the water. So they have to swim by. You're going to get a hit at some stage. That's just how it works. But if you don't know exactly, I mean, if you don't want to work a channel and you know better spots, they're generally like stationed in holes. And if you don't know where the holes are, another place where you could hit would be off headlands. Not like off the coast, just like points along the river. So there you go. So they're the spots you should look at. Points along the river, narrowings of channels, or number 3, if you know exactly where some of these deep holes are, they're the best places. All right, let's go back to the chat and deal with that. So where am I? So I've skipped a bunch of messages. All right, no, I'll just start near the bottom. So what are your top 3 lures? Been fishing rush cards, but what's a go for bait there? All right, so top 3 lures, I'm assuming it's about Jews. My top 3, the most that I've caught, have been on 80 millimeter squidgy fish in the mullet color. Silver fox, that's what they call it. So I've caught a lot more on the 80 mil land-based than the 100 mil land-based. That's my number 1. Number 2, I would say, is the discontinued lure that I mentioned earlier. So the power bait, what's it called? Power bait jerk shad in pearl watermelon. That one, for some reason, I think they just really like the scent, and it stinks like crap. So I have a feeling that scent is a big deal when it comes to lures, especially for Jews. They themselves smell, so I guess they don't mind a lure that stinks a little bit. Number 3 would be a vibe. So I've caught several of them on, what's it called? So the Jackal Trans Am 95 millimeter. My favorite color is that one with the purple back and the orange chin. That color. I think I've tried a few other colors like the chartreuse. They haven't really worked, but that purple one, every time I get it, I end up losing it, but it generally gets a fish before I lose it. Destroy Boy says, quick teaser video for Thursday. Well, yeah, I don't really do teaser videos at this stage. I kind of feel like it's a bit of a tease. I guess it's good. It gets views, but yeah, I haven't really thought about that at this stage. It hasn't been my style. Okay, let's keep going down. So that's directed to someone else. Hopefully I'll be able to make a fishing video soon, says Coolest Moth 45. Yeah, I hope so too. I'd like to check out some of your, some of your efforts. James Clean says, I got to start doing a spreadsheet. Look, I got to say, the spreadsheet has been amazing because it's really easy to just forget about what you did right, what you did wrong, what the conditions were like before you caught it, what they were like during the time you got a hit. I really did learn a lot by looking at my spreadsheet of what works and what doesn't. Like I'll record not just the obvious like parameters such as tide height and day, moon phase, and all that. Generally, what I found is that I like to record down also the conditions leading up to it. Like I look at the watercolor, I'll make a judgment on that, and I'll write that down. And then after a while, I start to realize what kind of a certain look in the water the color of the brown, for example, or the color of the green, what it might mean for bait and what it might mean for my chances. And yeah, knowing what rain's doing as well. So sometimes the spots fire right after rains, and sometimes they don't. Everyone's heard about that as well. So, like I said, no expert, but these are my experiences. Sometimes during heavy rains, people always say during flooding rains that you'll get where the fresh mixes with the salt, you're going to get the big predators, lurking. Now, I haven't really done that kind of fishing, which is like pretty much right at the mouth of the out of the rivers when the current from the rain is pushing so hard that you don't even know what the actual tides are doing because the tide heights are so stuffed up during these times. But I think it actually works locally for like small sections of the river as well, even with small amounts of rain. So that I believe in that. I believe in that from my experiences. Can you give some juice spots? Well, I'd love to give you guys some juice spots, Oscar, but it's like giving a credit card. It's like giving a credit card pin. People just don't do that. A true Jew fisherman doesn't give exact spots. I can only tell you what I just said before on how to look for your own spots. And plus, a lot of people always indirectly giving away spots anyway. On Facebook, you'll see, or any other social media, you'll see plenty of photos. And if you know what you're doing, you can recognize the spots more times than not. So that's basically a shortcut. So if you wanna do it that way, that's what I recommend. If you want to look for your own spot, pick a spot that you can go to locally that you can put time in, because at the end of the day, it's about putting time in to work out something and learn something. You could get lucky, try somebody else's spot, but then you may never be able to replicate it because you only go once in a blue moon. But if it's just down the road from your place, which has happened to me, happened to a few friends, you just keep going to a spot because it's the easiest to access spot. You learn quickly what are the best conditions and when you should be going and when you should be, walking away. Okay, Fatima says, when is it good to fish in Sydney for Jew? Please tell us. It's going to depend on the spot, but any time is good if there isn't much boat traffic on the water. That's probably the one big thing. So most people, I'd say that just confines you to early afternoons. Oh, sorry, early mornings. Early mornings, you don't get the jet ski action in the Georges. You don't get the ferries going up and down along the Para. You know, just the more noise, the more less likely the fish are, on the job. They're probably going to be unlikely to be feeding when a jet ski is going by at about 100 kilometers an hour. So I can tell you that I haven't really hooked up when there's been jet skis flying around or ferries. But it really depends. Some spots can handle noise under bridges if they got trains. Like, for example, I fish for Bream in the Georges, and some of these spots, they don't care about noise because a train's going by every 2 minutes. Trung Nguyen, hope you do more Q&A. Yeah, I'd like to do a little bit more. I've been trying to come up with an idea on what I could do. Like I said before, a few weeks ago, I put up a community post trying to come up with asking you guys for suggestions on what I could do to make content and not just not tying videos and so on and so forth. I think I will do some of that, but that's like a one-off video idea. But yeah, so I need like a longer term idea. So live streaming is something good, especially if it's I guess if it's like this Q&A, everyone can sit back on maybe like a Sunday night when they're not doing anything. This weekend it's been so windy as well. I think it was good to get out in the early morning, but then throughout the day, I think the wind might have picked up real bad. So I guess tonight that's why everyone's on. There's quite a few of you guys now, 29 or so. So that's a good stream already. So thanks, guys. If you guys enjoy this, yeah, let me know because I'll do more if people want to see more of this. Okay, let's keep going down. Eat Your Window Film Productions. Been fishing rush cutters. What's the go for the bait there? Okay. If you're talking about fishing rush cutters, I guess you're either going to be fishing that wharf or you're going to be fishing off the point. Depends what you're chasing. Some people would like to chase whiting there, off the point, off the wharf. I think you can get a bunch of things from dory to kings to salmon to bream, blackfish. I mean, it's in amongst the moorings, and the water's really deep. You can get you can get so many things there. Personally, I've I haven't caught all that much there. I've been there and I've caught kings on plastics, just casting out. So that's what I've caught, and I caught that on a power bait, 4 inch. What's it called? Minnow. I think it was a minnow. Those ones that you see in the shops all the time. Anytime you think power bait and you see 4 inch flick baits, that's the one that I used, and I used the brown color. I pretty much cast out towards where just out in front. You can see in front of you, you got a whole line of boats. I was probably like halfway, 3/4 way up there, walking along as usual, flicking plastics. I knew that there were kings around because it was that time of year, and it didn't take long. I guess it was like about an hour in, and I hooked up, and it went. And my Stratic was screaming. My 2,500 Stratic. I had my Stratic on a Daiwa. What's it called? I sold that rod now. It was one of my favorite rods. I probably should have kept it. It was a silver Daiwa rod, whose name escapes me now. 8 to 14 pound, really stiff. It was an HVF blank, so pretty much every rod that you buy now is using that blank, unless it's like the top end using SVF. So of that same caliber fast action rod, that loaded up and the Stratic was screaming. It didn't get me on the mooring, and I was able to bring it in. But after that, the rotor nut on my Stratic became loose, so the rotor was like rattling sideways. I had to take off the spool and tighten that. So that was pretty lucky. I didn't damage anything like permanently. All right. Yeah, so I've just lost exactly where I am. Let me just keep going down. Geez, thanks for all these comments, guys. I appreciate it. Getting hard to keep up because I like to put a lot of detail into my responses, but that's okay. I should get used to this and speed up a bit. Let me just scan through these comments. Oh yeah, so if I've missed your comment, just type it in again because I'm not ignoring or anything, but yeah, just missing it. That's all. Okay, so you should do a video on how to fish for Jews and how to target them, says Oscar Wells. Yeah, I mean, I did a really short, quick one on the Jackal Trans Am to show you guys how to do it, and it explains. I mean, it was very brief. It was one of my earlier videos, so if I look back over it, I'd probably cringe just looking at it. But for what it was, just looking at the analytics, you guys loved it. You guys there was a lot of likes, like compared to the amount of views that I got. It didn't have a proper thumbnail. Basically, I just showed you guys, explained to you how I just slow lifted that vibe to get the best out of them, and that's probably the easiest way to get them. But I really want to do one with soft plastics because that's what I used to do. So before I put more time into YouTube, I used to do a lot of Jew fishing. But now that I'm doing a lot more YouTube videos, I try to. So you guys already know, I try to get you guys a video every week because there's no point getting a. Well, there is a point, but I don't want to be that kind of content creator that produces one video every 6 months. So that's like, once you get into that mindset, you kind of like do it and then you forget about it, and then you don't come back and make videos because you've given too much time. I found for me that I set myself a target to try to get you guys at least, or get you guys one video a week. That's been very tight, so I think that might be a bit too much. But I've kept it up for more than a year, so that's why I'm continuing to do so. But yeah, so unless someone's going full time, which I'm not, obviously, but I guess if you go full time on YouTube, you could do a video a week. But I'd say at least if you try to get at least one video a month, that might be good. But that's something that I wanted to do. Get videos on Jewfish, but as you guys know, that takes a lot of time to plan and actually succeed and get that fish on film and succeed as well, because you got to put time in to learn about what the current conditions are. You could get lucky. I could get lucky, for example. I could just head out there, pick a spot, and then get lucky on the first session. But what's probably going to happen is I get out there, have a flick for a couple hours, and then learn that they're not there. But then I got to go again to make sure that they're not there. Then I got to formulate a plan from what I know, from what I see, from the watercolor, from the reports of like where people are getting fish, where the bait might be. I'll have to move up and down the river according to where I chose as my starting point. And when I find it, I'll find regular success. But before I find that biomass of fish, it's just going to be targeting local Jews in the area. And there's going to be fewer of them than the ones that are schooling up and down the river. So that's my opinion. I don't know if that's right. That's from what I've read, and that's what I believe as well. Okay, so where did the name Shroom come from? So I'll be quick. It's kind of like a play on my surname, but also it's it used to come from well, if you guys know on my channel page, it says One Up Shroom. So that's basically named after the green mushroom. I used to play a lot of Mario Kart, and so if you know about Mario, that ecosystem, the green mushroom is the one up life. So if you think about it, if you ever play Mario, generally you chase that mushroom to your death because you jump after a cliff just to collect it because it kind of balances it out, right? So in a racing car game, if I'm called Shroom, you're always chasing me. I'm always in the front. But also it's a bit of a play on my surname, which sounds like the word fungus. But yeah, so that's why I'm called Shroom. As a short, short explanation. Yongdeng says, saw you at Riverwood Skate Park a few months back. Yeah, that's right. So my last live stream was from Riverwood Skate Park. Good eye. That's right. I think I saw you there as well. All right, let's see. So next comment, Najib Kahani says, "Hey mate, can you tell me good places to fish at the Parramatta River for Kingfish, Bream, Taylor, Flathead? Please reply and tell me." Okay, now I can give you a general idea what to do. So Kingfish generally like places downstream. Bream, you can get them anywhere. Taylor, you can get them anywhere. Flathead, you can get them anywhere. Now, if you're trying to catch for a feed, I recommend east of the Harbour Bridge. Kingfish also, if you want to chase them within the system, like not towards the heads and inside the harbour, you have to know exactly where they are according to reports. So the best thing to do is to just follow the groups on Facebook. Sydney Kingfish. There's a few other ones. Once in a while, someone's going to mention that, oh, they saw kings busting up at this time and this place. There'll be a video generally. You'll see the kingfish swimming around doing, like, there'll be like hundreds of them. You can't miss them when they put up a video. It gets shared around like half of Sydney. That's when you pretty much can't miss. You just got to go there probably for a couple of days. They'll be back. So kingfish, if they're seen there one day, chances are they're there the next day. All right, let's keep going. Have you ever fished the Swansea Channel? No, I haven't. Fatima Nayef says, when did you start fishing shrimp? Well, fishing plastics probably like 10, 15 years ago. Fishing in general, from when I was a baby, or when I was a kid. So I still remember fishing on the Georges River with my dad. And I had a hand line. And on that hand line, I basically collected everything that I found on the ground. You know, when you go fishing, things get discarded and hooks and whatever, all that, sinkers and floats. I had the craziest contraption tied onto a hand line, and I just toss out into the Georges River and catch the odd bream, not much. What else? Catfish. I think I caught several catfish using that rig. But then, yeah, that's what ignited my love for fishing. So yeah, from there I just kind of like tried to fish when I could. But when you're young, you don't get to choose when you want to fish, right? So it was only until I started going to high school, probably around, as I got into senior years, that I started taking time off to fish, find time to fish. And I just used to just chase bream. What's your most expensive setup? Well, it's hard to say. I don't know about most expensive setup, but my because I've got several expensive reels. I don't have that many reels. I kind of like offload them because of the fact that if I'm not using them, a newer model comes out that's always better than the last. But when it comes to rods, it's more of a preference. So I've collected a lot more high-end rods. I can tell you that I've owned I haven't owned a Stella SW or a Soul Tiger, but I've got pretty much all the, the freshwater or, the finesse gear, like Exists, Stellars. I had a Vanquish. I had a More Than. What else have I got? Twin Power. Probably a few more Sora. I've got some of the JDMs. Sway. Yeah, yeah. So many rods and yeah, so many reels, but especially so many rods. I think I still got about 4 or 5 battlers, and then I've got a couple of Saltiga rods. Got the NRX, that's like my favorite rod. I've got the Edge rod, Gecko AGS. I don't know. There's quite a few rods in the corner there. Okay, Parramatta River is local. Yeah, so Parramatta, you guys are lucky. So anyone that lives on the Parramatta River, I guess that's pretty. You guys are pretty lucky. I feel like that system is the most consistent for everything. It's got the most water. It can support the most people fishing it. The Georges River, I feel like, is a very thrashed system at times. Some of the areas are just like really hard to get to, and it's just a really small area. Not many places to stand, and not many places to fish without getting into someone's way. And throw in the jet skis, and suddenly it's like unfishable at some parts of the year, especially in summer, for example. You can't really fish upriver in the summer. But yeah, Parramatta River, awesome. So Parramatta River, I'd say if you want to chase like Flathead or Bream for a feed, or actually if you just want to catch any of the southern bays produce fish, any of the southern bays, even up towards the Weir, you'll catch plenty of fish. Up past the Weir, you'll get bass. On the north side, it's a bit harder to pick out some of the spots, but it's still really good for all kinds of fishing. The best system, in my opinion. Sean says, also, you took my profile pic of the king Chisworth at the mouth of the Cooks. Don't know if you remember, but you caught the yakka-sized king. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Hang on. You took the. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I remember. Um, that video's here, but the video's on this channel. But I didn't put your catch in there because obviously you're some random at the time. I just I don't want to do that. I don't want to just like put up content of someone else. But yeah, nice to meet you then. Good to see you here. That was a really good fish. You played it really well. So I remember you were staying on the bottom rock. And yeah, you had I think you had some kind of a problem with your braid or your leader. It was a bit compromised, it was a bit weakened, but you played it well and you brought it in. So yeah, great. That was a great catch. That was the fish of the day. Vaz 1984. Do more videos on your setups and Q&A, etc. Yeah, I'll definitely do more Q&A. I think some of the setup stuff, I mean, I don't really just want to go over the gear for the sake of going over the gear. I like to offer insight if you guys are like choosing especially high-end gear, because I've used a lot of that kind of gear, and I can explain to you what I like, what I don't like, or like what gear you would use for certain kinds of fishing. That I could do. But yeah, I've been asked a few times to just run through the gear because I guess I got a lot of nice gear, but I don't think that's a really interesting video for the general audience. Just like for the really the people that really watch everything that I put out, I guess they would definitely want that video. But for example, attracting new subscribers and new viewers to the channel, then they're not really going to care about that. But Q&A, I think that's interesting. That's something that I've been thinking about. Like my idea was, like I said, with the community tab post asking you guys for ideas. I already had an idea at the back of my head that I wanted to do live streaming. I wanted to see if anyone was going to give up that same suggestion. So I have, I don't really want to talk too much about it because I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. But personally, in terms of just one-on-one Q&A like this, not a problem, you guys. I can do this. I can do this very often. I'm happy to do this. I'm happy to spend my evenings doing this. If you guys like it. But what I was thinking about also was, we're all a group of friends here. I asked aka Mike's Fishing Adventures, if he was interested in something like this, like we can have a couple of guests on and, talk. I'm sure a lot of people like that because I really like listening to casual talk like that. with an interesting topic, of course. Everyone's got their own experiences. Everyone's got their own knowledge that they can offer. AKA Mike's Fishing. He's a fantastic fisherman. He'll catch a king. He'll catch a Jew off any wharf in Sydney. I'd say he'd put the time in. He'd fish at random hours and he'd put the time in. Whereas I do something a little bit different. But that's what makes it a good combination. I think a bit of this, a bit of that. You guys would enjoy that, I think. And yeah, I know some people have been asking when I'm going to do another collaboration with him. Look, it's in the works, but at this stage, obviously with everything that's happening, that's not possible. But I have, I've told him that I'm willing to go up there and give it a go, see what the entrance has to offer. Take the video up that way. See if there's anything interesting there for me that day. All right. Fatima says, I really want to go fishing with you one day, Shroom. Yeah. Look, I get asked all the time, like especially through Instagram, messages almost every couple of days about fishing with me. I love to fish with everyone, but definitely, even if I can't fish one-on-one, I have organized in the past subscriber meets. And trust me, I'm not doing the fishing when I'm there that day. I just basically I'm talking to everyone. I put my time there for you guys because that's what it's all about. I appreciate all the support. That's the least I could do. You see, I'm happy to do that. Maybe once this thing's over, maybe make it like I don't know, the next sub goal target, for example. Okay, I just missed it. Just lost some of these comments, but James Plain said something nice, but I just lost it. All right, there we go. He goes, this was good. Yeah, thank you very much. I will keep doing it. Mini X says, this morning I woke up at 5:30, went for Bream, but ended up getting 53 centimeter flatty and a 30 centimeter flathead. So I'm not too mad with that. Oh, dude, that's good. 53 centimeter flathead. Depends what you're going for, but hey, that's a good day out, in my opinion. 53 centimeter flathead. Okay, no monster, but you're not going to get one every single day of the week. 32 centimeter, that's good too. That's like, you got your note and change. Fantastic. All right, let's keep going down. Oh, no, I don't want to read that, but I will. So Daniel says, my exist broke today. Keep a lookout for the anti-reverse. Ooh, now that is not nice. I wonder how that happened, and I wonder which version of the exist there was. Like the LT one that I've got now, I didn't even know they had an anti-reverse because they made it look so aesthetic that you can't even see it. Now I've got it here, so I'll just bring it down in front. So the anti-reverse is right there. Not sure if that's probably not going to show up. So you can't even see it because it looks like it's part of the chrome body, but basically you can't see it. So I didn't even know that there was one, and it moves in a funny direction. All right, so let's keep going. Fatima says, can you fish with a 4 to 8 kilogram rod that is 9 foot for June, kings off a wharf? And my answer is definitely go for it. There's nothing wrong with a 4 to 8 kilogram rod, 9 foot. You got the extra length off land. 4 to 8, that's perfect. It's not like way overboard where you're not even going to feel a thing. You're not fishing with a street light pole. You want it to bend, right? That's the main thing. You want it to be able to load up. You don't want it to be so heavy that it's only going to put a bend if you get a 20 kilogram fish, because that's just insane how many other respectable sizes you're going to forego using gear like that. Destroy Boy says another fan meet and greet. Well, I like to call them subscribers, not fans. I'm not, I don't really want to be that up myself. But yeah, definitely one day there'll be more, and yeah, maybe 3K after all this business is done. I've tried not to mention that word, you see, because the thing is, here to enjoy ourselves, talk about fishing. Don't want to put up a video that says, "Oh, so everyone's suffering from this, so watch this video." No, let's just watch the video for the sake of fishing. All right, let's keep going. Shroom for 500K. Thank you very much, James. Maybe one day, maybe in several years' time. Don't know. I'm not hoping for that much. I'm happy the way things are right now. But if it grows, it grows. Coolest Moth 45. What do you think of the fish I featured on my fishing channel? I can't remember. I checked out your channel about 3 months ago, I think. So I'll have to go back. I'll let you know. Vaz1984. We fish a lot of similar places, so I'm bound to see you around one day. Look, it's like finding where's Wally. You'll find me out there if you look hard enough. If you're there at the right time and the fish are there, I'll be there. I hope. That's the idea. I want to be out there on the river when the fish are actually on the bite. Okay, so Trong Yua, what do you do for work? I'll tell you guys one day. Just want to keep it strictly fishing at this stage. Midi, hey mate, I'm not sure if you remember, but that time you used an atomic deep diver in Ghost Gill Brown. Hard body lure was it 38 or something? Yes. So what Midi is talking about is that video I posted up about a month ago on the Parramatta River in one of the bays, central to pretty much every suburb in Sydney. If you live in just general suburban Sydney area, I used an atomic deep diver in Ghost Gill Brown in the 38 millimeter. For some reason, that color and with that bib, it gets the bites. So I can definitely tell you that I want to buy more of them. I'm out of them right now, so but that's okay. I lost it on a fish, I think, or on a snag after catching, plenty of fish. So I'm happy with what's going on there. Tyler says hello. Yeah, g'day. How's it going? Hope you're enjoying the stream. JG, yo, bro, you get out a lot. Do you notice much garfish grouped up in the harbour anywhere? Been on the lookout for a while, no luck. Now I have seen plenty of garfish, but I don't know if you're talking about the really small ones, about that big, that long. So what's that? 10 centimeters. They're all over the bays. You'll see them all over the bays. Not many, but they're generally like grouped up in about 5 to 10 when you come across them. But most sessions I will come across them. They're not, I wouldn't say that they're definitely not the eating variety. They don't look like the eating variety. But there are gars in the water pretty much everywhere. Fatima says, okay, see, I need to go to bed. Good night to all of you guys. Yeah. You take care. I'll see you later, Fatima. Mr. Lebanese says, where are you fishing at? I'm not fishing right now, unless I'm fishing in my room. I'm just in my room. This is just a green screen with a picture of where I wish I was, where I wish I would be right now, which is Weeper on the houseboat at night, concocting a plan with the boys on what we're gonna do tomorrow morning. Yeah, so that's I think I might go back after this whole situation is over. I'm kind of missing that place. Maybe not immediately, but the boys are supposed to go this year, around this time actually, but the trip fell through for obvious reasons. So everyone's a bit gutted at this stage. James Klein says, JG, this year garfish have been very rare for some reason. Previously, there have been lots fish come and go. Yeah, like I haven't really noticed it, but yeah, James might know a bit more about that. Okay, let's keep going down. Z, how's it going? How's it going, brother? Good to see you. So yeah, long time subscriber, Z Fitness. So I'm doing good. I'm doing good tonight. Just hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Just here to spend some time. I called it a test stream because I wasn't sure. Like I said, I wasn't actually sure what I was going to do with this, and I didn't want to put too much expectation. But it's gone well so far. We're still 30 strong, so that's fantastic. Given we're only on 2K subs for 30, I think that's really good. That's really good. All right, Daniel Boy says, got to go. Bye. Well, catch you later. It is getting late for you students. You should go to bed and then wake up tomorrow morning in time for online lessons from school. I know that's what you guys are doing right now. I don't envy your situation. Michael Wang says, hey Shroom, do you ISO? No, I actually haven't done ISO fishing before. I've actually been a bit of a chicken when it comes to fishing off rocks, so you will not see me off any rock fishing at this stage. But maybe in the future, if if I'm with some good people, some good friends. I know some of my friends do a bit of rock fishing, so it's likely that if I ever get into some ISO fishing, that's where it would start. Those guys will show me the ropes. Okay, Mr. Lebanese says, lol, I thought you were fishing. Yeah. I wish. I wish I was fishing. I'm basically fishing for likes right now, guys. So yeah, just a shameless plug. Subscribe, like the video, like the channel. Alright, next comment. Coolest Moss 45. When all of this is over, you should come up here and maybe we can meet up and fish the swans. Yeah, look, one of these days I'm gonna either head up or head south away from Sydney, like areas that I don't know. Like for example, the entrance. I'm gonna, try to team up with AKA Mike's Fishing or anyone else in different areas close by that I can get to. That way I'm not just there and just feeling my way around and not getting a video out of it. It would be nice to, be shown a little bit of the ropes of the area. No one knows everything in fishing. I don't know everything. I definitely don't know everything. But hey, that's the beauty of fishing. You can fish, you can learn, you can fish new areas. You learn something new every time. Okay, Fatima says, actually, I'm staying on. What bait do you use for Jew and King? Look, bait, as for both species, if you were to pick one bait for both, you can't beat squid. Fresh squid, you'll get the Jews, you'll get the Kings. If you're aiming for Kings, live squid's a bit better than freshly dead. And for Jews, live mullet, I'd say. Live mullet's a really good one. Or live herring. I find that people tell me that, like I said, I haven't really done all that much when it comes to bait fishing for Jews. Kings I've done a bit of bait fishing for Kings. Jews, it's all plastics. All my work has been on plastics. So I can tell you what I know about the plastics, but for bait, Jews, well, for both of them together, fresh squid, can't beat that. When it comes to live baits, live squid for Kings, live slimies, and then maybe a distant third, live yakka. Live yakka seems to work better for big Kings and offshore. Inshore, you can't beat live squid. For Jews, live squid's good, but I think fresh dead squid outdoes it. But live mullet and live tailor, small ones, which you're not supposed to use, and live whiting, live herring, those kinds of fish do well on Jews. Probably ahead of dead squid, I'd say. But for convenience, dead squid's good. Okay, let's keep going down. Faze Ali, how's it going? It says mono or braid. Okay, I'm not sure what question that's referring to, but I'm usually using braid. If I need more stretch, I'll use a longer leader. But yeah, so I think mono is fine for bait fishing though. Just quietly there. So James Klein, online school sucks. Yeah, it does. So you guys are on Zoom lessons. I don't know. Or maybe Microsoft Teams, Big Blue Button, Google Classroom. The work just never ends, see? The world doesn't stop. Homework just keeps coming back. All right, Dino J, have you been fishing up at Port Stevens yet? No. I've not fished Port Stevens. I've been up there, and when I was up there, I was just like a tourist, so I did not fish. I like to fish Port Stevens. I've seen what have I seen? I've seen reports of longtails in the last year or so, and that's what's getting me a bit G'd up to go there and check it out. Because I lost a nice longtailing weeper, and my heart still weeps over that. So there's that. I just thinking about that video on my channel where I'm just holding onto the rod, and then it's just screaming and screaming, and then God, I was distraught. I was distraught. Okay. Next question. Brendan Hewan says, when are you gonna go deep drop at Browns at the Browns Mountain? Hey, look. I think it might happen this year if things improve. So you guys will know Terry, who's a regular on my channel. I think he might be starting his own YouTube channel. So when he does, I'll send you guys over there, show him some love. But he's just got a new boat, and one of the reasons why he got that new boat was so that he could go offshore and chase tuna and marlin, and then go deep down, deep dropping at Browns for gemfish and whatever else. So there is a chance that I'll end up there at some stage this year. Given the situation improves. Okay, next. Tyler Orr says, have you ever tried red rock cod? No. So if you guys watch my channel, you know that 99.9% of fish go back into the water. Now, I'm not saying that I'm just catch and release. No, that's not it. It's just that in Sydney, the areas that I fish, I'm happy just doing it for recreation. That is enough feeding for me. It feeds my soul, it feeds my body. Mentally, I'm rejuvenated. But, I have kept fish before, but not red rock cod. I'm not even sure what that looks like right now. It sounds like something like a poor man's lobster or something, like one of those ones. Okay. Dr. Gumtree says, is it a good time to catch blue swimmer crabs? That I can't. So that's I don't have expertise on blue swimmer crabs. I've caught blue swimmers by accident on plastics. So at night you'll see them swimming around. If you cast enough times and fish in enough areas, you'll catch a few blue swimmers just by chance. They get their legs tangled up on the braid. Z Fitness says, I'm at Rose Bay right now. Oh, that's a good place. Good place. All right, now, what happened to my comments? Oh, there we go. It's cold, but great. Small baitfish, yellowtail. Caught one massive flathead. Oh, nice. How big was that flathead? Look at your Instagram. Gonna send it via private. Oh, okay. I'll check that out soon. Thanks for that. Yeah, I froth over big flathead. Haven't caught a massive. Have I caught a massive one lately? No, I don't think so. I don't think I've caught anything in the 80s or higher for several years now. But I have caught some in the 90s, so yeah, but that's been that's been a bit of that's been a few years gone by on plastics. Trong Nguyen says windy down there. Yeah, well, yeah. I had a look at the wind charts before. It looked like it was supposed to drop off, but not completely. So I wouldn't doubt that it's windy right now. Coolest Moth 45 says, back in 2018, landed 68 centimeter flathead at Lagano on the Georges. Yeah, good fish. 68, not bad. That's starting to get up there. Stephen. Hey, how's it going, Stephen? He says, Port Stevens has some awesome snapper spots if you're on a boat. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe that one day as well. So we'll see if I can get up there, get some snapper. But chances are I'll probably be targeting snapper down near Sydney, such as Bellambi or something. I think he's keen on that kind of fishing. All right, let's keep going down. Kingfish. James Klein says Kingfish will eat a live tailor 30 centimeters plus easily. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. So yeah, don't be afraid of using big baits. They do catch big fish and small fish. They're greedy. Some fish eat bait the size of them. Like everyone's seen that. So yeah, that's not a problem when it comes to size. But yeah, small ones obviously will do will do the damage as well. A lot less fish are going to refuse that. So the smaller yakkers are great inshore. Yes, the squid are gone if you get them. Yes. Yeah, it's always the problem with squid. They're so much harder to get than yakkers at times. All right, Fatima says, "What's the smallest rod you caught a king or a Jew on? As in how many kilograms that rod was holding?" Look, I've caught several. I can't say plenty because you lose a lot more than you hook up on a 2 to 4 kilogram battler. So the battler I use is called the Battler Beowulf, 2 to 4 kg, 7 foot. I think I might have hooked up one on yeah, actually I'm 100% sure. I hooked up one on a Daiwa Gecko Bejan, which is 1 to 3 pound. So not 1 to 3 kilo, but 1 to 3 pounds. So that's like the lightest rod that I've got, and the recommended line rating is somewhere like 0.3 to 0.4 PE. So it's that ridiculous. I hooked that up in the harbor, no doubt about that, and it just got me on a mooring. It went that fast and that far. I just couldn't put the brakes on that. Smoked, but that's what you get for that's what you get for hooking up to a yellowtail kingfish in these waters versus catching horse mackerel, yakkers and stuff, or what that rod's designed for. Okay, so Stephen says take Terry up to port. Yeah, I think we will do that one day. There's so many things we want to do. Sometimes he just gives me a call and we're on the phone for about 4 or 5 hours, and it'll be like 2, 3 a.m. before you know it. Before one of us needs to go to bed or something, or take a leak and end the call. Um, we'll definitely, yeah, that's something we're going to definitely do. Michael Wang, I know you've got some high-end Daiwa Shimano gear, but have you tried out Zanak MC come to rods? No. So from what I understand, Zanak MC Carpenter, they're like rods that people use for fishing off rocks for GTs or kings and that kind of thing, like stick baiting, popping. That's not my expertise, so maybe one day, but I haven't got any of those kinds of rods. Sure, they're nice. I hear about those brands all the time. Sinisa, what you do for work, study, bro? Okay, so I'll tell you guys one day. So I just want to keep it strictly fishing for the moment. Z Fitness says 91 centimeters, bro. Oh wow, jeez, that is a stonker of a flathead. That's a croc. Oh, well done. That is so good. That must be your PB, a 91 centimeter flathead. Look, I know what that feels like because I've got some that size, but geez, when they come up and you put your hand with a glove in its mouth, or the part of your sleeve. So when I caught mine, I didn't have a net, so I had to like do this to grip it. Oh, and that was like the best feeling when your hands like all the way in there, and it's like, wow, this is like the biggest flathead ever. And then you measure it, and it's like the numbers are like astonishing. Oh yeah, good stuff on the 42 centimeter brim as well. That's that's a good fish. You don't get a 42 centimeter brim every day of the week. I guess because when conditions are bad, the big fish come up to play sometimes. That's just how it is. You put the hard yards in, you get the spoils of victory. Darcy O'Sullivan, how's it going? Says go for a fish in the port hacking. Yes, love that system. You guys know every time I'm there what I'm chasing. Squid first up, and then flatties or kings. Always try out for something like that out the front. You never know, just out the front there, anything could happen. It's a nice place, and the squid they're always there. Sinisa says, ever fish pit water? No. I fished as far as Lion Island. I don't think that's pit water. It's out the front of the Hawkesbury. Just trolling around there. It's really bumpy out that way. What can I remember? Well, it was really bumpy out that way. That's what I remember. And there were a lot of salmon schools at that time when I was there. That was several years ago. But I don't think I've actually turned into pit water like proper and fished anywhere in those areas. And I don't think I've actually I don't yeah I don't think I've done it land based either. Yong Deng says, "Are you Vietnamese ethnically?" No. So I'm Chinese, born here, born in Australia. I'm Australian, but yeah. So but not Vietnamese. Z Fitness, no, my personal best. What? 108, 108. Where'd you get that? 108 centimeter flathead. Maybe I should get you on the stream and you explain how to catch some flathead to everyone here. 108. That's like a unicorn fish. Do they even exist? 108. Jeez. I don't know what to say. Take my hat off. Hat off to you for that effort. 108. That's fantastic. It wouldn't have been in Sydney, right? That would have been one of the St George's Basin, or one of the more popular, or one of the more famous flathead grounds. Okay. Hong Yuan says, I notice you move your rod and reel a lot while you're waiting for a fish. Why is that? Okay, so waiting for a fish. That's interesting. So do you mean that I impart a lot of action to the lure? Or are you saying when I'm bait fishing, actually, I can't be bait fishing because I don't really hold that rod and show it on film like that. I just put it on the ground. I guess it's talking about the action. So when I'm fishing for brim, I've gone past the stage where I'm just doing a double hop action. This is Sydney we're talking about. This is Sydney waters. I'm going to the popular spots everyone's been to. Every man, woman, and their pet has been to this spot. If they've seen a lure, they've seen all the same lures as well, and they've seen the same double hop slow lift action. I just do my own unique twitch, twitch, twitch 3-4 times. And what I try to do is make it look like it's trying to get away, but then it's vibrating on the spot in the water. That's what I find. That's what I find works for me. If that's what your question is, yeah. So that's why. So I mean, double hop and slowly, they're good actions to get started. But once you start getting a feel for what else you could do with a rod in your hand to make it more enticing for a fish that has seen everything, especially big fish. Big fish might have been caught several times. Um, they might be sitting in that snag that you're casting to. They've seen so many lures. They're not going to hit the same Z-Man grub in motor oil that everyone's using because they're going to hit the watermelon red that I'm using. That's my plan. All right. Okay. So Newcastle. Oh, good stuff, Z. That's so good. I can't even say that I'd ever even come close to it. I'm hoping to break a meter. That'd be my goal. Whether that'll happen in my lifetime, who knows? But that's just fishing. Gotta take it and gotta have fun with it. Always have something to aim for and achieve. Vaz 1984. Where is a good place for Trevs? Does Cooks go alright? Um, I don't go chasing Trevs, but when I go fishing in the winter and early spring, I find that a lot of the spots start to hold trevally. Yeah, like the Cooks is a really good area. The last couple of years I haven't found them in there, but a lot of people have. So it's just chance really. So several years ago, probably 3/4 way up the Cooks, like pretty far up the Cooks, I was getting mid 40s trevally regularly. And you know how they go. They go so hard on the light stuff. It's unbelievable. It'll make you come back the next morning or the next day just to get that drug hit when they peel line off. It's insane. So that was my experience with them a couple of years ago. This year I did talk to a few people that said there were Trevs around, but I hadn't encountered them. I counted a lot of other fish, but not Trevs. Out the front of Botany is also really good. So off the groins, there's plenty of trevally. I guess they're everywhere, but at the same time, it's hard to pinpoint exactly where they are. Depends on the spot, I guess. Land based, that's what I'm restricted to. I haven't really targeted them off the boat. Down Tarrant Point, I have caught a few of them in the moorings off the boat, in amongst with the brim. But yeah, that was also a couple of years ago. Okay, let's keep going. TJ Hughes, where in Sydney do you live? Okay, well, that's a bit of a personal question. I just live in Sydney. I'd love to tell you guys, but yeah, just for my safety, let's just leave it at that. Swan, okay, that's not directed at me. So Hong Yuan says, yeah, the action, especially Brim. Yeah, okay, let's keep going down. The Ermo Twitch. Yeah, there must be a name for that, isn't it? Must be what I'm doing is called something else. Obviously, I'm not obviously the first person to do that. I won't be the last. It's just something that someone's done before. But over time, if you're basically restricted to land-based fishing and you cast in the same spot, you alter your action, right? That's what you normally do. And then over time, it's like you do something different and it works. And then slowly your technique evolves. All right, so let's keep going here. So Steven says Z Fitness is doing well at Rose Bay. Some big flatties there. Look, maybe I should just get out of this stream, head down to Rose Bay now, and get myself a 91 centimeter flatty. Okay, so I got my PB 72 centers there. My third. Oh, wow, good stuff, Stephen. About a year after moving to Australia. Okay, very good. Wow. I remember when I started plastics fishing, I didn't get a single flathead for the first 50 fish that I caught on plastics. But you guys probably know what I caught. Brim. I caught nothing but brim. Solid, nothing but yellowfin brim. First 50 fish. And when I caught my first flathead, it was probably just on legal 36 or something. And I was so stoked. And my friends were saying, are you crazy? I'd rather have that 25 centimeter brim or 30 centimeter brim that you're catching there. The flatties, they're dime a dozen. And you don't feel a sense of accomplishment. But yeah, you do still. So that was interesting. And then after a while, they kind of evened out a bit. Especially fishing in the harbour. There's a lot of flatties in the harbour. Some big ones in the Georges though. My biggest one came out of, well, actually my top 3 came out of the Georges. Okay, Louis Maverick. How's it going? Welcome, Louis. We've been going for a couple of hours now, I think, or at least an hour. Love your finesse approach. Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Let's see. So, and he continues and says, but will we ever see you with heavier gear fishing with liveys? Haha. Yes. I actually was hoping to do a video on live baiting for kingfish land based, but then this situation happened. So I was gonna go through the process of buying a new rod. All right, so maybe I mean I don't need to buy a new rod, but I thought, hey, look, why don't I just come with a video idea, buy a new rod, go to a spot, catch the bait there. It's easy catching yakkers, can't be hard, and then set it out, keep it simple, simple rig, hook and just a hook with a live bait on the through the top, set it in the water, and then if you put enough time in, something's going to come by, right? And if you pick the right time when the kings are in that area, then you hook up. That was my plan. But yeah, we'll have to do that when this situation's over. That's my plan. Get a video like that, because I think a lot of people have requested that I do a little bit more bait fishing as well. I do a lot of bait fishing, but it's just that I do a lot more lure fishing when I've got like an hour free, because it's easy to just pick up the rod and head down to the river, and then get out of there when you're done and you're not too dirty. You don't have to pack away too many things. Okay, Vaz 1984. Would you ever consider getting a kayak or boat? I'm land based too, which is why I enjoy your videos in particular. But I'm considering kayak to cover more area and access more places. Look, kayak's a smart choice. It's cheap. You don't have to, once you've got it, you're not spending money all the time on it. So if you fish in like quiet bays, upriver, all that stuff. I mean, you can fish downriver as well, but you got to obviously keep an eye out for ferries and other boats and stuff. Some people take them offshore. I don't recommend that. Um, Maybe start with the kayak, see how that goes, and then get a boat, get a cheap tinny when you're ready. I I may get a boat one day, but I'm happy doing what I'm doing, land based. A lot of my friends have boats, so I get enough time out on the water anyway, I think. But yeah, it'd be nice to have a boat and then put time in and do some, make some different kind of content that I haven't been able to make. But I'm happy land based. Land based, I think the beauty of it is you can just like walk out the door now and be fishing within 10-15 minutes just down the road. That you couldn't do on a boat unless you've got your boat in the water and you just hop out the backyard and ride in the boat. No, that's not going to happen for most people. Okay, let's keep going. So, what's the next one? Where am I? Have you ever entered any fishing competition? No, unless you count the Pertec fishing challenge, which is not really a competition. In that sense, you're talking about ABT and bets and all that. I haven't entered any competitive bream fishing competitions or flatty competitions or bass competitions. Z Fitness, Shroom, you want a big flathead? Go to Newcastle. That's where the monsters are in comparison to Sydney. Yeah, I think my view on this is pretty much like everyone's. If you can get out of Sydney, out of the rat race, you got to fish better waters that don't have every other guy fishing it as well. So it's so challenging fishing Sydney, but you know, that's where you choose to live, so that's just where it is. I really want to go up to Newcastle, and certain times of the year get hairtail land based, maybe catch Dew on Hardbody up there or something. I don't know how to go about it, of course, but they're just ideas. But Newcastle, it's not too far away. Maybe, yeah, maybe I'll do that at some stage. Louis Maverick says, caught 12 yakkers in the city on size 10 hook and break key busted. Um, Yeah, well, I don't know what you mean by size 10 hook. Is it size 10 for yakkers or size 10 which is tiny, right? For kings? Okay, I'm guessing that's unrelated. Yeah, I guess well, you hooked up to a king on a yakka. That's half successful. The other half is just up to luck, your skill and your gear. If you get busted, sometimes you can't do anything about that. That just goes with the territory. Okay, this is Freddy says, do you ever keep any of the fish you catch or is mainly catch and release? Yeah, it's mainly catch and release. I do keep some fish, just rarely. Um, I guess if I go out at this stage, well, back then if they said you had to basically, if you were only allowed to go out and fish if you were, catching it for food, and not just recreation, then yeah, I'd be no doubt I'll be out there just saying, yeah, I need to catch my dinner now. Let me fish. But yeah, I will. I think I've got in my mind what I want to keep. So if I fish any clean waters, maybe off a beach or something, up and down the coast, and I catch flatties, I'll keep that. I think the next one I might do that. If people have been asking me to do catch and cooks, you see, so I've been thinking about how I could go about that. Something a bit interesting. Maybe a catch and cook. Maybe my first flatty. I actually haven't tasted flathead before, believe it or not. So that's why that's on the list. I've never kept a Jew. I've got plenty, but never kept one. They've all gone back. I've kept a few kingfish. Kept a few kingfish. They were okay. Um, I cooked them though like steak, so they didn't taste that good. I think next time I've got to definitely sashimi them. That might taste better. But one fish that I want to catch that I've been talking about to some friends is to get like a John Dory, and I'll definitely keep that if I get that. But what are the chances of catching one? Very low, but it's out there. It is a real chance. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, I just lost where I was with the comments. Okay, where am I? Okay, busted me off yesterday in the hacking. Yeah, alright, well, that means the King's in the hacking right now. That's good. Were you land based off a boat? You don't have to say exactly where you were, but yeah, I'm just interested to know right now. Not, I can't get out anyway, so I guess it might help some other people if they know. Coolest Moth says, sorry, I've got to go. You don't have to be sorry. It's getting pretty late. I might just go on for a couple more minutes. It seems like we've gone on for long enough. We can always do this again, you guys. You know that? I'll definitely come back on. It seems like you guys want to see more of this. So I put up the chat with this video, as you can see as well, because I think I was actually playing around with it earlier and the chat wasn't saving. But if it doesn't now, I don't really care because it's on the screen. You guys can follow along with the chat. Yeah, so have a good evening, cool Smith. Brendan Hewan says, have you tried the Kings and Snapper at 12 Mile? No. I don't think I've been to 12 Mile. I want to go. I've been to, yeah, I haven't been to 12 Mile. Haven't been offshore all that much. If I have, it's just basically been artificial or long reef. Everyone's at long reef trying to chase kings. Stevens says, give the Jackson Nora a go. It's an awesome lure. Suits your style of fishing. Yeah, I'll check that out. Haven't heard of that. I'll have a look at that. I heard of the Jackson brand. I think they're pretty pricey. Coolest Moth 45 says, okay, yep, no problem. Hey, Jason Green. Oh, there he is. How's it going, mate? He says, hey, Shroom, how you going? Can't believe you started streaming without me. Yeah, I can't believe you're not here. So I thought that this would be like, for people like you. So I like talking, you see. I like discussing. I like engaging with conversation, thinking about things. And yeah, I appreciate you coming down for the subscriber special. Just the time spent, talking to you. Yeah, I really appreciate that you came down. So yeah, I was hoping that you'd be here. I forgot about it. At the start, I was thinking, I think Jason's gonna pop in at some stage. All right. So he says, by the way, I caught my first squid this morning at Yowie Bay. Oh, congrats, well done. So how'd that happen? What squid jig did you use? Was it a Yamashita in what's that color? There's a few colors on my channel. I like the brown one and that blue one, the naturals. Enter the Dragon is here. Oh, hey, how's it going? So you two guys have just come when I'm about to wrap up. That's so good. Oh, that's why I call this a test stream. I wasn't 100% sure. Next time I won't call this a test stream and I'll put it up on the community tab. I'll let you guys know ahead of time that it's going down. So then we can all be here and get your favorite drink and get some snacks and we can chop it up. We can talk about fishing. We can have some discussions. Hopefully not too heated. Maybe at some stage, if I can identify some people that have some kind of expertise, I'll bring some guests on and we can talk. I think people want to hear about that. Everyone's got their own unique experiences, even if it's minor. It'd be good to have that on, I'd say. All right. Bill says, hi, Shroom. Can you tell us some good calamari spots? Yeah, so So that's not what this tree's about. I'm not about to identify exact spots, but what system are you talking about? If you're talking about calamari, I'll tell you the number one thing is downriver, right out near the heads, right out near the ocean. The closer you are there, the more chance that you're gonna get that. The more chance that the squid are gonna be there, and that the squid are gonna be the calamari species. If you go upriver, you're gonna find arrows, and even arrows don't venture that far up the river. But you will catch them. You will catch like arrows all the way up to like say Kissing Point. Or in the Georges, I've caught them all the way up to where is it? Where's that place? Can't name it. I think it's like yeah, just forgot. I think it was well within Como. It was further in. Yeah, I gotta get back to that at some stage. I can't remember the name of the spot. Enter the Dragon says, Shroom, I just got a Stella. Can you sign it for me? I don't know how to sign a Stella. So you got the FJ. Look, I'm pretty envious of that. That's a good reel. It looks when it came out. I wasn't sure what to think about the way it looked. It looked very rugged, and I was hoping that it would look a little bit more delicate, like be rugged in the way it works, but be elegant and delicate in the way that it looks. Something like a piece of like ornamental thing that you want to put on your shelf and just watch. You see, um, but yeah, it's grown on me. So now I really want one because I've got the other two. I've got the FE. I've got the FI just right here next to me. So I was just like oiling up the bearings before just the handle. So yeah, just keep me busy. Let's keep going. So Dom Manassi says, "Where's Joel can't fish?" I don't know. He might be fishing right now. I'm not too sure. um, he asked me for a fish today, but obviously I can't fish, so that's why I'm here online behind the computer screen. But it's been good. Young says, "What do you think about the Riverwood Bridge spot?" Hey, look, it's a spot where you either you love it or you hate it. On certain days, you think to yourself, "Now, why am I here?" It's like, why out of all the spots on the river, I came to this particular insert, derogatory phrase. That's what I feel about it. But then when you actually pull a few fish, you think, hey, it's not so bad. No wonder no one fishes here because I don't like it, but there's actually fish here if you can work through the snags. Okay, we're gonna probably end up after the last couple of comments. If you guys got any more questions, probably gonna end it very soon. So Z says, bro, never caught a squid. I have the jigs, but I don't know how to fish for them. Not my expertise. You know what? That's exactly how I felt when I first started. But I guess I first learned how to fish. Well, believe it or not, when I first started posting up videos, I posted up with Dave, right? Videos of Dave, and I know it's been like almost like an inside joke if you watch the video that he seems to not know what he's doing, and he pulls in some squid, but he doesn't pull in too many. I actually learnt off him, but he told me some really dodgy techniques. But I started with that, and then I transitioned out of that right away. It was actually just wind in and not really know what your lure was doing, not really figure out what where you're casting, just yeah, just wing it basically. But yeah, so just go to a spot if you can find out whether that spot has produced squid before. That's all you need to know. After that, you just have to cast. If you cast enough times, you don't have to be doing anything. You might hook up. You might lose your first couple of squid because you don't know what you're doing. But hey, look, you're catching bait at the end of the day. You got to learn quick. It's not going to be like you hooked up to a king and I busted you off, and now you're on the ground and you got your hands in your head and you're just like that close to tears because it was a meter king or a juice spat the lure and you just saw it in the water and you're just like about to die. It's not like that. If you just lose a squid, you'd be like, oh well, I'll just have another cast. So I recommend just going out there, having a go. Okay, so geez, I just did last couple of questions. Look at that. We'll go through all these anyway. What are your thoughts on the Saltigas? Look, my thoughts aren't. I don't really know about the Saltigas because I don't have a Saltiga, but I've read about what other people's opinions are and seen some reviews. I think mechanically they're sound. They're really good. They'll do the job like most of these reels, unless they've got some kind of like a design fault. None of these reels have design faults at this stage, so they're gonna do the job. Especially for what we're doing in Sydney, we're not really pushing them with like crazy fish. So even if we hook up to like a fish of a lifetime here, it's going to survive that one fish. It's not going to be fish after fish at 30 kg king coming in every single hookup. All right. Shroom, what do you think of a blue gum farm? I think it is. It's a nice area. If no, it's not a nice area. Stay away from there. So dangerous area. Fish at your own risk. Myself, I fish for like many years. But I'm gonna take care next time I'm there. Maybe bring someone, keep him in the car, or stay close by. Not a safe area, and I have a lot of people that are school children that watch my stream, so I'm not trying to give them any ideas here. Benjamin Chun, get an Emeraldus for your squidding. Yeah, look, I did think about that, but at the end of the day, I think it's just all marketing. A lot of the reels, especially for Daiwa, it's about marketing. So there's nothing that the Emeraldus has besides I think a double handle. Now this could be an ignorant opinion because I haven't looked very closely into it, but for what I see, besides from a potential double handle, everything's about the same. So if I go for an exist, it's going to outperform the Emeraldus. Now I know that there are several varieties of Emeraldus as well, so I'm not too sure on that, but yeah, I'd probably just spend the money and go for another exist if I did. James says, "See ya, bro." Yes, so see ya later. Okay, fish 30%, nothing. Okay, so I'm gonna speed up the question. So about to go off. Fish nothing, good 30%. Yeah, so hard spot to fish. That's all I can say. It takes a lot to love that spot. Okay. Vicky B, what was fishing a sand Susie today? And this guy showed me a pic of 120 centimeter that he's caught. It was nearly as big as him, a Jew. Oh, that's fantastic. I haven't caught a Jew that big. One day maybe. That's fantastic. That's pretty crazy. All right, last question. Cheers for the chat, bro. Keep well, stay. Yeah. So thank you very much, Jason, for popping down. Thanks everyone for coming. Well, thanks everyone for spending the night here on the live stream. The numbers have been really strong tonight. This is like one of the few live streams that I've made, but I have said in the past that I do the odd live stream, but at this stage I'll do more. Seems like you guys want more. I'll do more. Like, it's not going to affect my weekly Thursday 2 p.m. upload, so you guys are still going to get that Thursday fishing action, at least until I run out of videos or until I'm able to get back out of this place and start fishing. So far, in short, it's just been a decision on myself to not take any risk, especially with what's happened in the past month. I decided, look, I'll just don't fish for the short term. Might be for the best. See what happens first. Then if it's okay, I'll get back out there because like you guys know, I put a lot of effort into making the videos, but I put a lot of effort into planning what I can give you guys week in, week out, and that's what's important. I think just consistency. All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. If you enjoyed, if you're new here, I'm Shroom. Otherwise, you guys might know me as Pete. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and thanks for your support as always, guys. And I'll see you in the next video on Thursday. See you later.